Well, basically, I just found out that I've been 17 years with the APS. I used to live southwest of Atlanta, about 70 miles, near the border with Alabama. And I used to go every month to the competitions back and forth. I am a surgeon, a general surgeon by profession, and I retired 8 years ago and moved to Puerto Rico, where I live right now. That has made some impact in my photography. When I was in Georgia, I had a studio. Photography has always been a hobby for me, but I had a studio where I did all the types of experiments with different photographic techniques. Here in Puerto Rico, I don't have that, and I have been much less active than I was, with my photography being mostly confined now to traveling photography, which you must realize that in these COVID times has also been severely limited. In fact, I am planning to take a trip to Italy at the end of this month, and that would be the first photography trip that I'm going to be taking in the last 2 years. That's basically it.
Well, thank you. Hopefully you enjoy Italy. Mine was canceled, so hopefully you enjoy it and have a great time. I'm sure you'll get some fine shots, and we look forward to seeing them. Okay, everything's set and ready to go. So please mute your mics. It's very important you mute your mics. And we'll start with the mono. We always do the silent first, and then we'll go backwards. And on the list, we'll do the silent at the first one, and at the end we'll just go backwards like we used to. And then after that, Enrique will look at each one, make some comments, helpful suggestions if needed, and we'll go that way. So that's how it works. So this is a silent review, so everyone can see them. So again, mute your mics, please.
Mike, can I interrupt real quick?
Please go ahead.
I see Daryl is on. Does he have any announcements about the salon exhibition?
Thank you, Jim. Daryl?
Yep, today I signed up and I paid them. So we're registered for Salon 2021 through Atlanta Celebrates Photography. It will be online. You'll hear any minute now about how you go about sending in your images. Rohit is preparing the submission mechanism online. It'll be just like you submit for a regular monthly competition. And the cost, you're up to 5 images, will be $20 for all 5 or even just 1. Again, done just like the monthly meeting. Chris Hanley has already prepared, although it's you can't see it yet, a section of our club website. So people will go to the club website like usual and click on something very obvious, and that will take them to the gallery for the salon images. And they will be there without names on them, at least until they're judged. There will be 3 judges, and all of this opens up September 15. So we have slightly more than a month. The submission time will start later this month and end first week in September. There'll be 2 weeks to send in your images. You will format them and everything just like you do for the monthly competition. I did put some photos on the electronic page because I don't even know if there's a printed version this year of their festival guide. You may know that Atlanta Celebrates Photography is the largest such operation in the United States. Has occurred every year in the fall for many, many years. Could not last year. And this year is online. We'll get back to having the real thing as when we can put in our print images for our salon. And they will be sending out weekly blasts to everybody who's on their list. There's some 7,000 people. They usually get about 50,000 views of their website for the festival. And by having people see our salon by going first to our website, I'm hoping will allow people to say, that looks like a nifty photography club, and maybe they'll check us out. So you'll hear very soon, in just a couple weeks, well, before then, but we will open up for submissions. Questions?
So it's all online, no printed.
All online. There are some events in Atlanta. And, you know, if you're doing an event, there are all kinds of events people do, not just exhibitions. In addition, I wanted to say that I chose 3 images that go on our festival page. When people click on it through ACP and they see the information about us, I chose an image by, the first image is by Michelle Simmons, and another one is by Mike Schaefer, and another one is by Michael Amos. And I probably ought to get permission from all you folks to do that. And I'm hoping you'll say yes, because it's already gone into them. It just won't be live until the 15th of September. Questions? Okay, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to work out well.
A good job, Daryl. You're appreciated. We thank you for your efforts. Let's get started. Again, the silent review. Please mute your mics. Let's get rolling. Start with the first one, and then we'll just go from there. You know the routine, most of you.
This is a, oh, I'm sorry.
Please mute your mics. All right, we will start at this one, Enrique, at the bottom, number 25 on your list. And the title for this one is Time Machines, Rendering Moments Gone Blur.
Okay, this is a picture for the people that are fond of vintage images. It is extremely crowded. The image is sharp, well shot, light is adequate. But as far as the subject is concerned, there's not a principled subject. My eyes are wandering everywhere, trying to grab something. I'll pass on this one.
Okay, the next one. The primordial gateway.
This picture is very interesting, but the area of interest is the door, which unfortunately is kind of far away from the viewer. The action inside the building through the door is very interesting. That character that is giving the back to us, covered with a hood, the faces of the people at the door, the person that is leaning towards the door in the outside are very interesting. However, I see no interest in the upper portion of this picture. I think that this picture should have concentrated in the door. I would have cropped the upper part of the picture and make the contents of the door more visible. It is well exposed, there's good detail, but unfortunately, I think the area of interest is minimized within the picture. I'll pass on this as well.
Okay. Next one. The pasture at dusk.
This appears to be an infrared picture. Infrared doesn't work very well when the sun is not shining directly on something. In fact, any backlit picture of an infrared looks awful. However, having said that, this looks good. I like this picture. I like the composition. I like the balance. If it were for the white grass, probably would not be as attractive because the trees in the shadow are very unappealing, as they always are in infrared pictures. But this composition works well. I think it is well done, is well balanced. I will keep this.
All right. Okay, the next one. The edge.
This looks more like a travel picture than anything else. I don't like the presence of this terrace sticking into the picture. I don't think it really matters. It relates to the rest of the picture. It's just a travel picture. It doesn't have any artistic value to me. I would pass on it.
All right. The next one. The Donna Kay.
This picture is very well done. It's based on, the composition is based on symmetry. Interestingly, the picture was shot in a vertical fashion. There is excellent definition of the details in the water and in the ship. The sky looks very interesting as well. This is a good rendition of this picture. I would keep it.
All right. Okay, the next one. Sweet water after the rain.
There seems to be too much water here. The picture is not very well defined. There's loss of detail in the water that appears to be overexposed, despite the fact that there's no sunlight. I just don't like the way this picture is done. It does not look very well planned. I would pass on it.
Okay. The next one is street music.
It's interesting that this picture was shot in a vertical fashion. I would have thought of it horizontally, but nonetheless, it works very well. The strings of the bass go along the vertical frame, and the trumpet, the diagonal of the trumpet makes a nice angle. It's interesting that the picture has a significant dynamic range. The range from the black hat to the white shirt is significant. However, it is well handled by the camera sensor. Both appear well lit with visible detail. I think this is a very good picture. I will keep it.
All right. The next one is Shadow of Beauty.
This is a picture of a drawing, apparently. And I've been taught that shooting drawings or shooting statues or paintings, you're actually shooting somebody else's art, and therefore they do not really belong. It is a nice image. I like it. It looks beautiful, but photographically speaking, it's basically a picture of a drawing. I would pass on it.
All right. Next one, Reynolds Farm.
This is an interesting infrared. Infrared works well, especially when you have structures that do not radiate infrared together with vegetation that does. In this particular case, the dynamic range between the foliage, the grass, and the barn is very significant, and the sensor could not handle it well. There is overexposure of the grass and some of the foliage as well. The barn seems well exposed, but that forces the other part of the picture to be overexposed. This is a very difficult situation that can be handled with HDR. I doubt that any regular sensor would handle that dynamic range easily. For that reason, I would pass on it.
All right. Next one, puppets.
Same thing I said about the picture of a drawing applies to this one. I mean, you were photographing somebody else's work. The picture is good as far as light is concerned. Detail is fair, but just does not appeal to me. Pass on it.
All righty. Next one is On the Hunt. Oh, I'm sorry. Outstanding. I take that back. Outstanding. That is the title.
The composition of this picture is very good. There are 4 diagonals converging to the end, leading your eyes to the final figure. It's interesting that the picture is well exposed. There must be a big difference in light in the outside with the inside of the building. However, that is handled very well. There is good detail. I wish the figure at the end was not looking outwards of the picture, but nonetheless, I think this picture is very good. I would keep it.
All righty. The next one is On the Hunt.
It's a very close-up of a bird. Taking pictures of very wide objects, such as this bird, are difficult, especially if the background is much darker, as in this case. Something similar to what happened to the barn and the infrared picture. Here, even though I see very good detail in the eyes of the bird, that seems to be in focus, we are losing detail in the feathers. I cannot identify the feathers. It's just a white blur. And I imagine that is due to the fact that the meter took into consideration the dark background to adjust the aperture. I pass on it.
All right. Next, Mill Ruins and Falls, Cochrane Mill.
This picture, the subject is kind of a cliche. It's done a zillion times. This is very well done. It's much better than the other one we just saw. The water is not overexposed, and there's good definition of the rocks. It's not an easy picture to take. You got to deal with neutral density filters, and you have to be very careful about the time of exposure to achieve what you want to achieve. But this is well achieved. I would keep this picture.
All righty. Okay, the next one is Long Point Light Station.
This pier looks too crowded. Even though the place is very good for picture taking, my eyes wander everywhere. I don't know where to stop. There's not a single place that I can see as a main subject. The tower in the back looks very appealing. And this picture could be better served by taking a much more limited area of the pier with the background of the tower. As it is, it's messy, it's too crowded, and I pass on it.
All right. Follow. Oh, the next one is locomotive. Locomotive.
Okay, this is another classical subject as well. This picture is particularly well taken. There's an amazing depth of field here. I can see sharpness from the front of a locomotive to the second or third car. The lighting is right on. I like the position of the train within the frame. This is a keeper.
Okay. Okay, the next one is follow the leader.
I think it's the first time I see flamingos in black and white. Flamingos usually are good subjects because of their pink color. This picture is strange, appears to me as overexposed. The background gray without any image is strange as well. I don't think it works well, the combination. I'll pass on it.
Okay. Droplet universe.
It takes a photographer to see a picture where everybody else looks in another direction. This mini cosmos here of the different drops of water, each one with a peculiar shape, looks attractive. I like the diagonal line that also breaks a little bit the image in two halves. It's interesting, it's well done. I'm not sure the subject is very interesting. I would pass on it.
All righty. Door into the past.
It's a strange picture because it's neither a picture of the door nor a picture of the inside. It's an in-between thing that really doesn't concentrate on anything, doesn't center anything. It seems to be probably taken in Rome. I would think it would be much better if the picture was taken inside or totally outside, but not this in-between thing that does not really show anything. I'll pass on it.
All right. Dolly in creation.
Okay, there's obviously a lots of points for originality and creativity. It is a very different picture. I don't know how this was done actually, but it's interesting. It shows the resemblance of a face obtained with several objects that do match together very well. I will keep this.
Okay, got it. The next one is circle line.
It's a picture based on symmetry, which is well achieved in this building. There is sharp rendition of all the different structures. The tones of gray are well done. It's a good picture. I would like to keep it as well.
Okay. Okay, the next one is Bertro.
This is a forest of birch trees. It is a strange picture. I do not know what's happening behind these trees. There appear to be some more trees in some place over there, but there's a dark area that is not defined. There's not a single point that I can focus in. It's kind of messy. I will pass on it.
Right. The next one is barn door latched.
Again, this is where a photographer sees a picture that many people walk right by. This picture is very worthy because it's taken in black and white. Black and white helps us see in the textures and the detail much better than the distractions of color. This is an excellent picture. It's very well exposed. It's very sharp, and the composition is very interesting with that diagonal line crossing the frame. I would keep it.
All right. The next one is artist's hand and eyes.
This looks like the male version of a burqa. The idea might have been interesting, but it is grossly done. The black is actually painted within Photoshop. You can see a very sharp and realistic edge to the painting. It could have benefited from some feathering of the edge, but still there's no sharpness whatsoever. Yeah, the ears are totally blurred. The idea was interesting, but I don't like the way it was done. I pass on it.
All right. The next one is Haha Zeha. If I said that wrong, I apologize.
Very interesting looking building. There's obviously a accent in the symmetry. There's one factor here that bothers me, which I believe detracts from the picture, is the light pole that is crossing the base. Without that light pole, the picture would look much better. But with it, I think it just takes it down. I'd pass on it.
Okay. And the last one for black and white is a coastal view of the Milky Way.
This is an extremely difficult picture to take, and it's been done very, very well. The pattern of the Milky Way crosses the frame as a main diagonal. The stars are very well defined, and we know that it's a long exposure because this is a night picture and there's a good exposure of the wooden structure there. So this is a difficult picture because if you give a very long exposure, you're going to get motion in the stars. If you don't, you will get an underexposed structure. He has handled this very well, and both images are right on. I would keep this.
All righty. Okay. Enrique, are you okay with going to the color? There's 29 of them. Right off the top, that'll be the last category.
I'm sorry.
Are you okay with moving on to the color next? Right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
we'll do that. I forgot I have to scroll through these, but hey, get another view of all the shots real quick here. Go to the color section. So forgive me for this, but hey, see them all again. Won't take that long. Okay. This is the silent review. Again, make sure your mics are muted. Here we go for the silent review. Let's begin. that's the last one. Yep. Okay, no, one more.
Appearance of perhaps a fisherman, somebody that is in the ocean. The lack of color suggests that this is a very gray type of life. The picture is well centered. There's excellent sharpness. I can see the eye detail. It's well lit. I think it transmits the message that the life at sea is rough and not very exciting. From the artistic standpoint, I would pass on it.
Okay. Next one. Abandoned.
Well, this is a picture of our present life when we are a bit locked.
Mike, that's the wrong title.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Boy,
He's
this
got
is,
a sync problem between titles and images.
well, that's the list I have. I have abandoned. That's the title I get for this. What's the title? Okay, that's what I have. So is this the right image though? Is this this is the right, this is it. Okay. The next one after that, make sure, because I know I checked these. That's what this one, oh, okay. Shoot, okay, they got it over for me. Okay, so is this another day in the store? Okay, another day at the store? Okay, got it. The title of this one is Another Slow Day at the Store. Okay, I know where we are. That's number 3. Go ahead, Enrique.
Well, this reflects the sad reality of these days when we are locked, masked, and having a relatively boring life. The image is crowded. It does transmit the atmosphere that the photographer wants to transmit. From the artistic standpoint, I don't think it's a very artistic composition, and I will pass on it.
Okay, I got it. Okay, a little bit outward, a little bit. Okay, this one is Blessed Teton.
This picture is well done. There are strong leading lines that bring your attention to the altar with the cross. It is remarkable this picture was taken at floor level, which really enhances the appearance. If this were taken at waist or shoulder level, it probably would look much less interesting than what it looks. That's basically what I can say. Colors are okay. It is very well composed. I keep it.
Okay, got it. Okay, the next one is Abandoned.
Well,
that's number 2 on your list.
The vintage cars are another very popular subject. What's different about this particular picture is that the car is shot from behind, which is very unusual. I imagine this was shot like this because the background was better in this direction than in the opposite direction. The picture is well taken. I don't know if there's an issue of the horizontality of the horizon. There seems to be a little incline, but the picture is otherwise well taken. With light is good, color rendition is very good. I keep it.
Okay, got it. Okay. Okay, the next one is Butterfly.
Okay.
It's number 5.
The eyes in a picture tend to go to the brightest area initially. And the brightest area here is not in the butterfly, but behind the butterfly, in the leaves that are far away. I think this picture would be better served by either darkening that area or perhaps cropping. The butterfly is well shown, has good detail, but the fact that it is in the darker area of the picture is bothersome. I would pass on it.
All right. Cherry on top.
Okay. What can I say about this picture? I mean, it's technically it's well done, perhaps slightly overexposed. There's a good mix of colors. The subject is off center as it should be. I don't find it particularly appealing, at least from the visual point of view. Perhaps from the gastronomic point of view would be more appealing. I would pass on it.
Okay. Colony.
I'm not sure what I'm looking at. I don't know whether this is a macro of the stems of a flower. It's an interesting picture. There is fairly decent detail. The depth of field is extremely limited. I think the focus is on the stem of this stem, or whatever it is. I like the lighting coming from below. It's an interesting picture. As I said, I'm not 100% sure what am I looking at, but I will keep it.
Okay, got it. Okay, the next one is dawn.
It's a well-known fact that in the extremes of the day, especially in the evening when the sun goes down, the advice is to stay on after the sunset, because then is when the colors are going to appear in the sky. I understand this is not a sunset but a sunrise, but the same thing applies. The buildings are in the shade, whereas the clouds are already receiving the beams of light. The colors are fine. I don't find any particular interest in the picture, and therefore I would pass on it.
All right. Deep in the bouquet.
We are looking at the sexual organs of a flower. They are well photographed, well in focus. I like the fact that the flower is eccentric, and the color of the flower serves as a very good background for the pistil on the stems. It is difficult to be creative and original taking pictures of flowers. I think this accomplishes that. I think is original and creative enough to be selected. I will keep it.
Right. Okay, the next one is Doctors with Borders.
This is an excellent photograph based upon symmetry. The symmetry is just about perfect. I wondered if you pay the guys to stand in the positions they are there, would you probably not get a better picture? They are perfect. The guy that is sitting is right under the vertical line of the center, and the other two are framing him perfectly. This is an excellent picture. I keep it.
Okay, got it. Okay, the next one is Fort Mountain.
This is a panoramic view of a range of mountains that are at different distances from the photographer. The different distances give different coloration to the mountains. The sky is interesting with the low dark clouds running around. This as a whole is a good picture, interesting, but there's no focal point for me to center my attention. I would have preferred to have anything, perhaps a single tree in the edge there, or any structure to be the center point, and have this as a background. As it is well done, it's interesting, but it is bland. I would pass on it.
All right. Harbor Sunset.
Again, playing with the colors of the sunset. This picture impresses me as oversaturated. It's been manipulated in Photoshop, and the saturation has been increased excessively. The bluish coloration of the boats is artificial. It is true that in the shade, the light tends to be blue, but this is too blue for that. I would pass on it.
All righty. Landing gear down.
Interesting picture in the sense that there is a sort of a secondary image that is out of the light.
Mike, that
I-
title's not right, but
Yeah, I can't believe that title's right.
this is a flower picture.
I know. Let me see here. I can pull it. I'm gonna look up.
Okay,
Okay, let me just a minute. Okay, I got it. So what I'm gonna do is pull it up real quick. Okay, that one is. Oh my God. Okay, hiding in the shadows. We got it. Okay, hiding in the shadows. Okay, that's what that one is. Okay, and then the next. Okay, the next one's gonna be landing gear down. Okay, got it. That's hiding in the shadows. All right, let's get reset. Anyway, the title's hiding in the shadows. That makes a lot more sense. Do you think?
yeah, that should be, that title is appropriate.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering that. Shoot, come on, people.
Okay,
Okay, go ahead, Enrique.
the combination of the two images is interesting, different, but there are technical issues with the picture. It is not sharp. It is out of focus, I think. So I would pass on it.
Okay, got it. Okay, let's see here. The next one. Oh, this one's easy. Landing gear down. Okay, that makes sense.
This is not an easy picture to take. The wideness of the bird again makes it difficult to adjust the lighting. This picture is, however, is very well done, very sharp. I can see details in the feathers in the neck. The eye is very well seen. The only thing I would do with this picture is since this bird is obviously moving from left to right, I would have liked to see a little more space in front of the bird rather than putting it square in the center. I would have liked it to be eccentric with more runway on the front, in front of it. But it's a very good picture, technically difficult to obtain. I keep it.
Okay. Okay, next one is, there you go, odd one out.
Well, actually, the odd one is the one that bothers me. I like the combination of the orangish lights against the red roof, but the incandescent bulb there is an eyesore. I don't think that is really something that contributes to the picture. In fact, it detracts from it. I would pass on it.
All right. This is outer world, inner worlds. That's all I have. And it says and after that, but that's all I see in the title anyway. Outer world, inner worlds.
This is a very beautiful picture. I love the light. I can see the beams of light coming through the window. I can see the transparency of the, I guess, crystal balls. I love the image of the landscape through the glass in the window. Very well framed, very well achieved. I will keep this.
Okay. Next one is parenting.
This image is vertical, therefore it was framed vertically. Even though I can see some detail in the tree, I don't see a lot of detail in the birds. The face of the bird is hidden. There's a very nice blur background, but as far as the bird image is concerned, it's suboptimal, and I will pass on it.
Okay. Reflections at Millennium Park.
I wonder how many people have walked through this image or something similar, not seeing it. I like very much the reflection in the water. To me, what's the real fine touch in these pictures is the addition of the lower legs of the two people walking. That really makes the picture. It is very well done. I keep it.
All right. The next one. Sim City, Vegas.
Well, this is what you see when you look at out the window in the hotel in Las Vegas. It does not take a lot of effort, not much elaboration to take this picture. It is actually a travel picture, not without any artistic interest. I will pass on it.
All right. Skyscape.
This is probably the picture that took the guy that was going to Las Vegas in the plane. We have all seen pictures. I mean, we have all seen the clouds from above. Sometimes they are a little more interesting than in this picture. I will pass on this picture.
All right. Staten Island Sail.
There is something strange about the light in this picture. It seems unnaturally dark. I do not know exactly what's happening. The fact that the boat is going into the picture is a positive composition, whereas if it were going out of the picture, it would be bad. I don't like the background. I don't like the building on the right with the sailboat in front. I pass on this picture.
Okay. Still Together.
This is an excellent image. Very symbolic. It reflects the reality of the old people that are prevented from seeing their family. They are locked inside the house or the home they're at. This picture, the diagonal of the upper window makes the side of the grandparent look constrained, small, tight, whereas the outside looks open, sunny, and smiling. I think it's a very, very symbolic picture. I keep it.
All righty. Next one is study time.
This is a funny picture. I think it's probably taken with a drone. We don't see many drone pictures in here. It is a cute picture. I cannot say much more about it. That does not have any artistic pretensions. It's just a cute picture. I pass on it.
Alrighty. Next one is Sunset on the Bay.
Anybody has tried to take a picture of the sunset knows that it's difficult. It's very difficult to reproduce what you are seeing. You don't know whether to have the meter read from the sky, from the sun, because whenever you point the camera with just a variation of a few degrees, it makes a completely different picture. This picture must have had some manipulation. There's definitely no way that a rock would be seen this way with the sun in that position. The detail that we see in the back part of the rock is created by either a HDR or some post-processing manipulation. Nonetheless, it's an interesting picture. It's well done, regardless of the manipulation, and I will keep it.
Okay. This is Sunset over the Salt Marsh.
It's an interesting scene. Yes, no main subject, perhaps the boat on the left, which is barely seen. The colors are okay according to the time of the day. I don't find this picture particularly interesting, but it is well done. I will pass on it.
Okay. Next, the Loire Valley.
Strange picture indeed. I do not know whether this is a composite picture or not.
I have a hard time believing that's.
Yeah, that's, I agree. I think, yeah, you're right. This is, well, let me see here. Gosh, okay, okay. This one is going to be under, no way, this one's going to be under the piers.
The catch.
What, okay, the catch. Forgive me, thanks. I skipped one by accident. Yep, the catch. Thank you, Daryl. The
It's a
catch.
very nice image of the two dancers. They are lit by a very strong light. However, the pot with the plant does not share that lighting. It leads me to believe that there might be some composition here. The light in the water also does not go along with the sun that we are seeing in the dancers. As far as the composition is concerned, I think the pot with the plant is really not adding much to the picture. I think it would look better without it because it's a distracting factor competing for attention. The picture is very well done, however, I like it and I will keep it.
Okay. The next one is the Loire Valley.
When I first saw this picture, I thought it was a Photoshop trick, having copied one side and flipping it over and creating a composition because it looked almost identical. When I look with detail, I realized that that's not the case. This is actually how the picture is. The picture is definitely based on symmetry. It's remarkable if you notice the amount of different greens that you are seeing here. There's a collection of different tonalities, hues of green in the picture. It's a very interesting picture. I think it's well done. The light was probably a cloudy day or it looks very diffuse, but that contributes to the atmosphere of the picture. I'll keep it.
Okay. And the next one is Under the Fire at Sunrise.
I've seen many pictures like this. This is not the best one. The pier itself is shot from an angle that makes it look messy. The picture obviously is a long exposure to be able to expose with very little light. That is what blurs the water, but the pier itself is not very well taken. I don't know if it would look better from another angle, but certainly from this angle, does not look appealing. I'll pass on it.
And finally, the last but not least, Wagon at Taco Plaza.
The cart tree is an interesting diagonal in the picture. I would wish
Okay.
that the window had another color. That color really has nothing to do in the picture. But otherwise, the picture looks nice. It's well balanced, and the definition is very good. It looks sharp. I will keep this.
Actually, it's Wagon at Taos Plaza. Taos. I'm sure that's right. Okay, that does it. Let me go ahead and we're back. So let me go ahead and show you the winners, the champs. All righty, let's start with Mono. The first HM goes to the ship photograph. And it's, let me get my paper flipped over here. And that's going to be the Donner K by Michael Amos. Is Michael here?
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Any comments about it? Great shot. I like it.
It is the shipwreck Donna Kay in Cape San Blas, Florida. And it ran aground several years ago when there's stories behind it, like the captain fell asleep or came loose from this morning during a hurricane. But this past week, they started dismantling it. But I think it's been photographed quite a bit. So anyway, that's the story about the Donna Kay.
I bet you got one of the better photographs of it for sure. Good job.
Thank you.
Next one is Street Music by guess who? Michael Amos.
And that was in New Orleans. And
Hey,
it's not,
can you bring up the photo?
Oh, I'm sorry. I will do that.
Thank you.
Thanks for, there you go. Yeah.
and I kind of like the way the guy was looking down and just the overall composition. They both kind of sort of have their eyes closed and really putting everything they have into their music.
Enrique was very observant, I thought, when he, the black, the white, the gray, the nice flow, very observant. Very good. Anyway, the next one in the third place then goes to the locomotive. And that's Michael Amos. You gotta stop this, Michael.
That must be my night. This is the Southeast Railroad Museum, Duluth, Georgia. And I was there with my son, and I like the angle on the photograph, and the skies made it look like there's actually steam coming out. But there was a storm just brewing, and about 2 minutes after I took this, the skies opened up and everything was really stormy. So I think it added to the image.
Excellent. Okay. Number 2, drum roll, goes to Mr. Jim Harrison for Barn Door and Latched. Good job, Jim.
Thank you, Mike. I took this at our Shields Etheridge Farm workshop a couple months ago, and glad Enrique mentioned the textures here. I just fell in love with the textures and saw it in black and white and shot it in black and white, and it's in the wabi-sabi style.
Very good. I love it. Simple, but very good. Simple makes it great. And first place goes to, drum roll, to Steve Director. About time. Blue ribbon for Steve. Awesome. Deserves it. Steve here?
Yeah, I'm here. I logged in a little late. Can you hear me
Oh.
okay? Yeah. Well, thank you. It's so I haven't taken Milky Way shots for a long time, and so I tried to do it this night, and I was testing out a few new things, a new lens, as well as a star tracker, a move, shoot, move star tracker, which I had never used before. And the issue with that is it works if you can align it to Polaris. And it was kind of a cloudy night. You could see up in the upper right-hand corner, there's a kind of a cloud coming through. And it was a little challenging to line the star tracker up, the rotator up right. But it came out, and then I had to fix the lifeguard stand, which, because you're using wide angle lens, was a little distorted. So anyway, thank you very much.
Yeah, that's a great job.
Steve,
well.
is it the 14 to 24 Z?
Yeah, f2.8.
Okay.
Yeah, great lens.
And another question, Steve, it almost looks like a little flash of a meteor.
Yeah, there
the
is.
Milky Way, yeah.
You're right. And good eye, Jim. Up in the kind of about a third of the way down and a third of the way over from the left, there's a little, in fact, there's more than one. There's that one,
Yeah,
and then right above the lifeguard stand.
I see the one right above the lifeguard stand. That was
Yeah.
the one I saw first. Yeah.
Yeah. There were a few that night, but they're not always easy to see.
Where did you shoot this?
This is off of a beach on Cape Cod facing south. And it was fortunate because I was able to avoid getting any light pollution from any cities, because it was going right out over the Atlantic.
And no light painting?
No light painting, none.
Well, what I like about it is that here you see this very fragile structure where wind could blow it over. Tells you how fragile we are with relationship to the universe. That's for sure. That's what I like about it. Very symbolic in a certain way. Great job, Steve. Congratulations.
Thank
It's
you.
really a wonderful shot. Really
Thanks.
is.
Honorable mention in color goes to, drumroll, The Catch by Michelle Simmons.
Thank you. This is my niece, of course. I'm very happy because she now has a boyfriend that dances. This was taken on the St. Johns River. And I did manipulate the sky. I darkened it because with the blue sky, they just didn't stand out. So.
Very beautiful, nice shot. Very nice.
This is your usual iPhone?
Yep.
Don't try this at home, ladies and gentlemen. Don't try that at home. And the other honorable mention goes to this beautiful shot of the Loire Valley. And of course, that's going to go to, again, Michael Amos.
This was in Loire Valley of France, and my wife and I did a 5-day bicycle tour where you stop in this little shop and they give you a bike with saddlebags and a map and said au revoir, and then they took your luggage and put it 50 miles away every day. So you ride 50 miles and then stay a night, get back on your bike and ride another 50 miles. Of course, I had my camera with me. We visited all the chateaus, and this is where we stopped and had bottle of wine, some cheese, and some French bread.
Oh, what perfection! Absolute perfection. Wonderful, lovely shot.
Thank
Makes
you.
you want to be there. That's why it makes it so good. This one is Miss Vivian Lynch, Reflections of Millennium Park. Enrique is right, including the feet above is what makes it work. Go ahead, Vivian. Is she here?
Hey, yeah, I shot it in Chicago, and that was 2019. That was my last trip that I've taken. So I'm looking forward to going back as soon as we can. So anyway, I waited for that shot. I waited for the right person to go by, or the right couple to go by. So I knew what I had. So I probably half an hour to shoot it.
Great picture, Vivian.
Thank
Yes,
you.
Love it, Vivian.
Yeah, it's very interesting to look at.
Thank you. Thank you.
And this one, finally, Jim pulled it out with this shot. Outer World, Inner Worlds. And something else, that's where it ends there. What's the title, Jim?
Yeah, that "and" was added as a mistake.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's Outer World, Inner Worlds is the title. And this is from several years ago from the trip I took with Gary Gruby to Cumberland Island. And this is inside the Stafford house where we stayed. And of course, every time you go in and out the door, this is on a little sitting room inside the front door. You'd walk by these and it was gorgeous every time. And probably the fourth or fifth day we were there, late in the day, it just had exactly the right light with the sun. And I've always loved this, and I've entered it before and decided I didn't really like how I did it, so I completely redid it, and glad you liked it.
Well done, well done, well done, great. And then this is called Doctors with Borders by Michelle Simons. Second place, congratulations.
Thank you. You might have to disqualify me though, because this is a composite and I forgot to write that.
Doesn't
Next time,
matter.
just catch it next time. But yeah,
I had taken the background at the Zaha Hadid building in Miami, which was the phallic looking one that Enrique didn't like because of the light. And it was kind of a close-up of a part of the garage that was just so cool to me. And I turned it upside down. And down the street at Mercy Hospital, these doctors were taking a break out on the bay there. And they just looked, I just needed to do something with them because it was just so boring, and I wanted the doctors to stand out. So I was looking for something to place in that hole, and to me, the doctors were it.
Well, it looks like a front cover of National Geographic to me.
Oh,
I really like it. I really like it. Very creative. Good choice of color. Good choice of background.
It looks really dull on Zoom. I don't know if it's my iPad making it dull or Zoom.
This is my shot. That's all I'll say. It's personal, so we'll just leave it at that.
It's excellent. It's like Enrique said, it really tells the story, and all of it fits together perfectly.
Well, this is the best blue ribbon shot I've ever gotten.
So I'll speak for Mike on that one.
It is great exposure to inside and outside. I mean, that's really hard.
It's taken on a cell phone, Michelle. That's all I had. So there you go. You can do well with a cell phone, but anyway, that's why I'm a little bit, today I've been a little bit scatterbrained. So I entered it. I thought I didn't want to enter it in many ways, but I just decided I'm going to do it. And so I did it. So there you go.
Mike, was this back home in Indiana?
Just leave it at that. I just gonna enjoy the fact that you guys appreciate it, and that means a lot. All right. Okay, therapy. Thank you. Anyway, so congratulations to the winners and everybody. Thanks for being patient with me. It's been a ride for all of us, especially for me. So I appreciate your thoughts, and I'm glad y'all liked that shot, and y'all did great. Thank you so much. Any questions or anything to share?
Just thanks to Enrique. Great to see you again. Hopefully you come back to join our meetings. And we've missed your photography.
Really
Give him a
good
hand.
commentary. That's very helpful.
Yeah.
Give Enrique a hand.
Good job.
You did a
Thanks,
great
Enrique.
job, I thought. Thank you,
Thank you.
folks.
And hi to Miriam.
Okay, I would say good night to her.
Okay, take care, y'all. Thanks for everything. You guys are the bestest. Thank you.